All right, welcome in everybody. We are live with some podcast editing today. We've got some pandas talking games. We've got some other stuff, probably Starwhal is my guess. I'm gonna go and just pop it up and down. No, I don't want to forward that. There we go. Shazam. All right. So wonderful. We'll have some stream beats on in the background. A little bit there. And as we do that, we will do some live podcast editing, chat with some folks. If they stop in, would be lovely to see some folks out there today. So without further ado, I want to get this taken care of because I got a bike ride to get to later today. And for now, we're just going to be doing some editing. All right, so we got some pandas here, and I do have the audio cleaned up a bit. We just need to get all the little blips and blops out. And we're going to start with the outtakes as people potentially file in.
Click, click, click.
Click, click, click.
Look, it even worked the first time because I remembered to close Audacity and open it again.
Yeah, see, that's unlike your browser tabs.
Getting called out for the browser tabs and
We don't talk about that.
It's a museum.
Hey.
Here's the thing, though.
Hey,
My browser tabs
I'm on
are
Senda's.
organized by window,
Uh-huh.
right? So all the tabs that belong together are in a window.
Yeah.
I definitely don't feel as bad about the number of tabs that I have open at any given time when I see some of my coworkers' screens when they share them.
You can organize.
And the tabs are so small that there's not even space for the icons.
Yeah, that's not good.
Across the whole window.
That's what tab groups
There's
are
only
for.
one time that ever happens for me.
Oh, I think I know. You can stop there. You shouldn't tell anybody.
Only one time, right? Otherwise, I'm a monster because I actually
close your damn windows.
I close all the tabs and the application.
What?
When? Like every night?
Yeah.
What?
But how do you know what you were in the middle of when you stopped?
Yeah.
Because I don't stop in the middle of anything.
You never stop in the middle of anything. I stop in the middle of everything.
Tism.
Yeah, I know. I just
Yes.
need a touch of the tism to save me from this.
Tism finishes. That's
Yeah, ADHD is like, where the fuck is my computer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love you. Just
These
funny.
two. Poor
That
Senda.
was a rough moment for me this morning.
It's pretty funny.
This is also the
Alright.
dangerous thing about having ADHD in a laptop. Because it moves.
Yes.
Yeah, laptops. They don't sit still.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Are you good?
Mm-hmm. I finished my matcha, which means my brain should be online. I'm going to get in the correct... Assume the position. Ugh.
Oh boy. Okay, I need to get some no, not the intro. I need the bloop sound effect in here. So we can get that little there we go. What else? I'll make it a little bigger. It'd be easier to see. And here we'll get this moved over as well. There we go. Create another bloop.
Assume the position. Ugh.
Bloop.
And... Okay.
Yes.
Right. Let's go.
All right. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
All right.
Hi, Ryan.
I'm not going I'm not going fast.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
We are recording normal time, but we're not not heavily on the clock, but a little on the clock. I'm up against a nap. That's my next.
Phil's up
Oh,
against a nap. I'm up against a birthday party this afternoon.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty much put together. I just need to wear clothing.
Sure.
That is not to imply that I am currently recording naked, but
Unfortunately, no.
but I have not gotten dressed yet.
Yeah.
It's Saturday.
it is.
Yes, I'm just in my
You're just
soft
goblin
clothes.
mode.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
is goblin mode for me too. Just goblin mode is also what I slept in last night.
Yeah. I'm not in my sleeping clothes. It's actually a little too cold. My house. It's 54 out. I think my house is holding it at its normal temperature, but it's just raining, and it's just going to rain all day. It's like 24 hours of rain.
Ugh, rainy, gross.
So anyway, okay, let's Ryan, I hope you're doing well. Let's
I'm
line
doing
up
all
some
right.
audio real quick.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I've got a smoothie that I just made. It's delicious. Well, that's the wrong button. And we're going to be doing a bike ride after I'm done editing here today. That'd be nice. I got a new bike seat for the back of my bike that goes on the little rack that I have to hold stuff. There's like a little bike rack tray thing, I don't know, that holds like stuff. And I attached the bike seat, secondary seat to that so my daughter can sit on there. She's got little foot pedals down below, theoretically. And so she'll be able to ride on the back of my bike, which should do okay, I guess. I did have to raise my seat though, so it makes me think, well, I could just get a tandem bike attachment like we have for my son. So we'll have to see how this all works. It was relatively inexpensive though, so I'm not too worried about it.
Okie dokie.
Yep. As soon as we were like moments of silence, my nose was like, but a sneeze though.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good.
Give me just one.
Okay.
Just one
Yeah.
second. Because I'm gonna
Work that.
If you start
work that
now,
out.
you're gonna be like, hey,
Oh boy. Let's get these tightened up here.
and I'm gonna be like, achoo.
Oh, the attack of
okay, I'm gonna
the
make an
sneeze that
uncomfortable
never
sound. I'll be
comes.
right back.
Yep. Oh, there's a good nose honk blow.
Okay,
That's
I'm
fine.
good now.
Okay, good.
Stop making weird faces at you.
All right, we're gonna get this over here. I don't know. I'm feeling a little silly. I'll keep the nose blow in there, just because.
Weird faces at you.
Yeah. No worries.
Okay.
Alrighty.
They
ready
still
to do
haven't
this?
started it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do.
Whoa, that was not the
Um,
words.
Hey, Senda.
Hey, Phil.
All right, I just need to tighten this up before we actually get to the episode proper. And one more. And final little bloop bumper there. And now we are at the open. So I'm just going to create a little marker there.
Hey, Senda.
Hey, Phil.
Look out beyond the bow. I see it. It's a white whale of a campaign.
But Captain.
Ready the harpoons.
But Captain.
Full ahead. The white whale is ours.
We just Ryan, if you could just insert some dramatic like seafaring music here. And
Oh,
we'll just
sure.
Fade that into like.
Okay, what do we got for dramatic seafaring music? Why not? I've got some stuff that is royalty free that I can throw in here. So just kind of see what we can grab here.
Like
Cue music.
While my software is loading for that, I'm just going to go ahead and add a dramatic pirate music. It's a white whale, and then we'll dramatic And then we'll fade into the opener here. Music.
Do music.
And then fade Senda out here.
do.
All right. Get rid of this. Bring it back over here for the outtakes. There we go. And here's the start. Start. Perfect.
And welcome to another fine episode of Panda's Talking Games. I'm one of your hosts, Phil.
And I'm your other host, Senda. And welcome back, folks. We took an accidentally longer break than we expected due to me being sick. But
yeah, there were like two things, just so that people know, right? Just so we're cool.
Gonna add a little bit of silence here first, so we can get the opener all set before I forget about it later.
Yeah, there were like two things, just so that people know, right? Just so we're cool. Two things. One, you got sick, and then like just down with the sickness.
Just really, I was on my butt.
I mean, slept
for 2 days straight.
Yeah,
woof.
Yeah, there was no way we could pull a no way we could pull a show out of that. So down and out, and then the following week was graduation week,
which we had planned to take off.
Correct. We both had kiddos.
We were going to tell you about it in the show that we didn't end up recording.
Correct. We both had kiddos who graduated.
Yes.
Last week, so we
like,
were
what is
obviously
even that?
not going to record for that. So here we are.
Here we are. We're
welcome.
back because here's the thing, because I think we had a week off before that too, so we were going to record. Weren't we off for like 3 weeks here? We might have been.
Something like
It's
that.
been a while. Anyway, we're back.
Hi, we're back.
Hi.
Didn't pod fade.
We didn't pod fade. Just had a lot of life coming at us.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Real fast.
It gets a little dicey around this time. I'm gonna also we'll provide dates later, but we have a vacation planned.
Yeah.
I have a oh, actually those two are overlapping, so we'll be fine. I thought I was gonna lose a. Oh no, we have we're doing a stream. So we're losing
we're doing a stream instead on Saturday.
That's on June.
Hang on.
6th.
It's like the June 6th.
Have
yeah.
this conversation right
Okay,
now.
here we go.
Figure it out. Okay.
All right, ready? Here we go. So we're streaming with some folks on the 6th, which means there's no show the week of June 8th.
Yeah,
June
so the
8th.
10th,
Yep.
Wednesday the 10th. No
Right.
show.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's not going to be a show the week of the 15th because we will have been on vacation.
Right. Yep. No show the Wednesday the 17th.
Correct.
Yep.
And then we should have a show on the 24th.
On the 24th, yeah.
Okay.
That is where I think we are.
Wait, aren't I flying on the 20th though? So we might not have a show on the 24th even. We might be taking another 3 weeks off in a row here.
Yeah, we'll make a final call on that one, whether or not we just record on the 21st or something.
Yeah, it feels like maybe we should. We haven't
feels like we
recorded a lot of
probably
shows.
2 weeks seems reasonable. 3 seems a bit of a stretch. So.
3 weeks for the second time with one show in the
We'll
middle.
figure it
I feel
out.
like a lot.
It's fine.
Yeah. All right. So for sure, the 10th and the 17th are a no.
Right.
Okay. And then barring anything bonkers.
We'll try to be back for the 24th.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if
We
we're
will
not,
try.
If we're not, maybe we'll just play an old show. Like we'll go pull
Something
one
there.
deep out of the archives or something.
Yeah. Put the beefness back up.
Oh, gosh.
Down with the beef.
I mean, if Phil wants to record with me, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Down with the beefness.
Okay. Well, with that business out of the way,
Good.
which we probably should have figured out before we turned on the mics, but you know how
Hey,
it
you know,
goes
it's
around
fine.
here.
we don't do that.
We don't do that.
So
This show has relaxed into an ADHD of a show.
it's how I've kept you on the.
It is how you've kept me on the mics.
Yep, that's how I've kept you on the mics.
Amazing.
Okay, anyway, our topic today came to us from Matt on our Slack, who said, here's a topic, white whales. Many GMs have a grand campaign they spend years wanting to run, but never seem to manage to actually get off the ground. Discuss.
Right.
Man,
Okay, let's discuss.
Hurts. This white whale discussion is the TBR discussion for book nerds, right? This one hurts me because I have a fairly extensive list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So let's first let's talk about a couple things, right? So one, why do you have white whales, right? I'm going to just throw out a few. I'm going to throw out a few ideas about why you have white whales.
Well, maybe they like ate your arm or something.
No, they eat like
leg
and stuff.
No, your leg. That's why
Not
you
talking
go
about
after them.
Actual white whales.
So the reason why you might have white whales, right? The first one is probably the most obvious. Time is finite and capitalism sucks.
Yeah.
Right. So you may just not have enough time to run the games that you want to run. And, like you might have had an idea for one and then a campaign ended, but something cool and shiny came along and you like jumped to that. And so that original game moved to white whale status, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that part just happens, right? It happens naturally. The other one is that, your group might just not be interested in playing that game, but you are.
Yes.
Right? So like you really want to play the game. You think it's neat, but when you pitch it to your group's like, right, seems too whatever, or not of the flavor of the group.
Yeah.
And that one can be tough because if you don't have like a lot of different groups or whatever,
Deep resources to pull on the different people who might be more interested in it to form a group to play it. Yeah.
Correct. So and I'm not saying that's an insurmountable problem, but I understand why it is a problem, right? Like
100%.
you can solve that problem, but you're going to have to move out of your comfort zone to solve that problem. If you have to go to the extreme end of it, like you are going to have to go find more gamers, and you might not have the time, or
especially as an adult,
that may
my
not
goodness,
be your thing, like socially, like that may not be comfortable equipped, for any number of reasons.
Yeah.
So those what you call it? So that could also lead to
I'm going to tighten that up a little bit.
So those what you call it? So that could also lead. So
there we go.
That
could also lead to a white whale.
And I think that can happen for a number of reasons. So like, I think they all fall back to the group doesn't want to play it, right? Like the group system, they might not care about the system, but they don't like the setting. They might not like the tone or theme of the game. Like it can be any number of components. Like it might have resonated with you. It's just not resonating with them.
Yes, for whatever reason. And I know there's at least, because one of the things I know we're going to talk about coming up is games that are potentially white whales for us. And I'm literally looking at one that I know, right, is a tonal problem for your group that I know that you've been trying to get to the table for ages.
Yeah, I'm getting to be convinced that that's not as much of a tonal problem as it used to be. And I may be making a move on that. But anyway.
Okay.
So all right. So here's my thing. When it comes to,
I'm going to clean this up a little bit.
all right. So here's my thing. When it comes to white whales, this borders on the nostalgia thing, right? Not every great idea you have is going to wind up being awesome in practice, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
some things are going to be white whales and you're going to pine over them. And then you're going to get them to the table and be like, oh, as it turns out, this system isn't actually as good as I thought it was, right? Or like, this, whatever, it didn't play well, whatever. So some white whales are okay to just be white whales.
Yeah.
Some white whales you can solve with a one-shot.
Yep.
Like, oh, okay, I'm not going to be able to run this campaign, but maybe I can get everybody together to play a one-shot. Sometimes an easier bargain.
Yeah.
Whether you're using your current game group or whether you access a different game group, like an online like an assembly of online people, like just coming together to be like, hey, I want to run like a 3-session, such and such game. I'm trying not to use the ones on my list yet.
Yeah.
But I want to run like a 3-session game. You could potentially get people together for that. It might not be the campaign you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right. But you could get people to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then some of them might be good concepts, but you're going to need to do work.
Yes.
To get them there, and you may be willing or not willing to do that work. I have one that for sure needs some actual house mechanics to make it happen. And I think it's possible.
Yep.
But like, I'm going to have to do some work. And so the question is like, do I have the time to get that work done?
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is you should chase your white whales, but regard them over time the same way you regard nostalgia, right? Like be wary of things that you
that cleaned up a little.
Things that you love because of nostalgia, because memory is fickle, and emotions lie. Right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I know for me, there's at least one of these that's been on my list for so long that I don't actually know if it'll be good or not. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But I probably won't know till I play it.
It's tough, right? Because you're just like, is this going to be good? I don't know. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Yep. I agree.
Okay. So, so the topic was white whales.
Yes.
I think we've talked a little bit about it, right? I think we talked about.
We didn't get a definition, Panda, on white whales. For those not in the know, coming from Moby Dick, it was a Captain Ahab, had pursued the white whale for the remainder of his life or whatever, and it was the thing that always got away, effectively. So
I think we talked about. I guess we can talk about how to catch your white whale real quick.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Is like, what's your advice for how to actually get a white whale off the ground?
Yeah.
Or out of the sea, as the case may be.
Right. So I think so if everybody's amenable to it and it's just low on your list, right? Then you should just reprioritize for the next campaign, right? And you should just be like, hey, look, I know new shiny Kickstarter game just arrived, but like we've always said we wanted to do this 7 Paladins campaign. Let's do that campaign, right? And then you can in negotiation, right? You can talk about like, is it going to be open-ended? Is it 10 sessions, 5 sessions?
Right.
That kind of thing, right? So you can negotiate that, right? So if it's just a matter of like it's low on your list and it never seems to climb the list, you could just lift it up.
Yeah, I think it's really important to remember that your 2 options in gaming are not like it's a one shot or we play it forever. Right.
Yeah, you can do like a mid-range.
There's totally a range of lengths in there. And some of my most satisfying games have been games that lasted for like 5 to 6 sessions, right? So like if you're like one shot isn't enough, but everybody's like, we're really into this idea, but we also really want to get to this new shiny, then it is perfectly reasonable to say, let's play this for 4 to 6 sessions. We'll finish it up by like 6 sessions, and then we'll go off and play the new shiny, but we will have done this thing that we wanted to do.
Yeah, because a lot of times what hangs people up is the idea that when you say campaign, right? And I'll be honest,
infinite commitment forever.
I hope that modern games have done a better job of kind of getting rid of this. When I was a
young lad,
right?
My father, yes. Good.
The problem was that these things were made to, like, a campaign was thought to be like, well, it's forever, right?
30-year campaigns, right?
We're going to play this campaign for the rest of our lives, right? Like those guys on the internet who've had a 30-year long AD&D campaign.
Yes.
And let me be clear, nothing wrong with having a 30-year AD&D campaign, but like, I've played a whole lot other games in that time.
Yes.
Right. So
yeah,
just saying, right?
It's an investment.
The idea of, and I know we've talked about this it's somewhere in the archives, you'll never find it, but the idea of intermediate campaigns, right? So a campaign with a fixed ending, or, and I think we've talked about this in recent episodes, doing the, what I call the BBC season campaign, where we're like, hey, we're going to play 7 sessions, which is going to be a single arc, with the option that you might like this and we'll do another 7 sessions, or we may all just be like, well, that was entirely entertaining.
Yep.
No need to continue a perfectly satisfying beginning, middle, end story.
Or you may be like, that was great. We really liked it. We really want to play this other game. We'll come back to this one later. And I say that knowing that sometimes that means you don't come back to it, and that's okay. But I have also played in groups where we really did come back to it. And we came back to it even more excited to play more of it because we had taken a year-long break, right?
Sure. I played a lovely 4 to 5 session campaign of Outgunned.
Yes, sure.
We played a John Wick style game. We played a revenge arc. The characters were able to exact their revenge. Chef's kiss. It was lovely.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Didn't need anything else. Like, we completed it. We had a nice epilogue, and we all sat down afterwards and were like, that was perfect.
That was great. Yeah.
Like,
yep.
You see that closure.
Much like the John Wick movie. Didn't need a sequel.
So the thing to remember is when you're making stories, make a story that is the correct size for the length of game you want to play.
Yeah, I mean, it is okay to have a campaign that has a fixed ending. Yeah.
In fact, as a player, I love
super satisfying.
It's really satisfying all around. It's somewhat frustrating to me, actually, for my particular brain, and this is a little bit of a side quest, to have the expectation of the game that just goes on interminably forever, because then there's never an end point and I will never finish the loop. And it means inevitably that whenever that campaign falls apart, because it will, because no game lasts forever in my world.
Right.
It'd be unsatisfying.
I do not have a 30-year campaign going on, right? That when it falls apart, I will be left unsatisfied because we did not achieve an ending.
Yeah. By all means, it's important to achieve endings.
Wow.
Come on,
Sometimes
Phil.
more than one ending.
Wow.
That's what the denouement is for.
Okay. Anyway, so having said that, I don't know.
Feels bad.
Any specific tips for? So there's reprioritizing it. What do you do if the problem is that you're the only person who wants to play it?
Yeah. So now you got to go get. other people to want to go play it. Now,
which is easier if you tell them I'm expecting this to be 4 to 6 sessions, and they're like, "Cool, I'm not committing to this for the rest of my life."
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So in these cases, right, this is where an alt group So maybe your group, only some of you want to play that game. So instead of putting it on the main game night, and now some people aren't going to be in the group, especially this is big if your friend group is your game group kind of thing. You could put it on a separate night and be like, hey, I'm going to run this game on such and such date.
The alternating Sundays, the
I'm going to run it on a Saturday,
Thursday, like whatever. Yeah.
Yep. And then that group can go play. Now, if you know a bunch of gamers, a ton of different gamers in person or online, and you could, that you can throw this together, it's easy. If you can't, right, this gets a little harder, but what I would say is there are places on the internet where you can go, right? There are various Discord servers. So one, if the game company /game has its own Discord server, more chances than not, they'll be organizing some online play.
Yeah.
Like maybe not the company, but people will be looking for people to play, looking for groups, that kind of thing. So if you're like, boy, I would love to play some Dungeon Crawl Classics. I've never played some Dungeon Crawl Classics. Go find the Goodman Games Discord server. I'm betting you're going to find
some people looking for players. Yeah.
Next one is if you just want to get a taste of the game, conventions.
Yep.
If the game's reasonably popular, good chance you're going to find it at a convention. Now, depending on the convention, maybe you can get a table, maybe you can't. But
I mean, maybe they're running the game, maybe they're not. I have that problem.
You could also off-book it at a convention, right? So you could just be like, hey, people I know who go to Gen Con, I really want to run this game. Who would be interested? Okay. So that's another way. If you know local gamers, if you know a bunch of local gamers, you could wrangle them together. And then, the other place on the internet is you can look for like the Gauntlet. Like those folks, that is a group that exists together to play various games.
Yes.
Like
they are a game-playing community.
Yeah, you can join that community. You could also, I believe there are sites, I am not familiar with them, but like there are sites that do GM for hire.
Yeah.
Right. So you could pay your way out of this problem. You could find a GM to, you could pay to get into a group to scratch
start
that itch.
Playing works well for that.
Or conversely, if you're feeling up to it, you could offer to run it and be on that website, depending on how hard it is to get on the website.
Yep.
And have people pay you to play your white whale.
Yes.
Also a possibility.
Also a possibility.
Yeah. Okay. So there are ways to do it. And I'm not trivializing it because if you do have social anxieties, if you are neurodivergent and running out to like game with strangers is difficult, I understand that. And so that may be a barrier, which is why I suggest like the alt game.
Right. But also we understand time and capitalism.
Correct.
Is just like these are the forces under which we currently live and operate.
Yep.
To the best of our ability.
100%, right? Like all of those things contribute to it. So I respect the white whale. I'm not trivializing that it like, you can just get rid of your white whales. Like there are reasons.
Yeah. No.
I'm holding out for retirement for when I'm going to run a bunch of different things because
you're like, I'm retired. Let's play all my games.
I mean, I'm just taking out the white whale list when I retire, and I'm like, okay, fuckers,
all right,
here's what's up, right?
Here's the menu.
Here's the menu because this is what I'm running until I get rid of all of these.
Yes, until I have been satisfied.
Okay, so now that we've talked about what a white whale is, how it became one, and what you can do. Ways to capture your white whale. Senda and I thought we'd first talk about some of our white whales, and then as a bonus,
I've got a couple.
I have a secret bonus question.
Okay.
To ask after we do that. So.
Oh yes, I see. Okay.
I thought let's just do. Why don't we ping pong?
Okay.
Various games and or campaigns that are white whales for us.
Okay. Do you want me to start or do you want to start?
Go ahead, you start.
Okay. So I think the first one for me, because I keep getting excited about it every time I remember it exists, is The game is Under Hollow Hills from Lumbly Games. It is powered by the Apocalypse, as many of my favorite games are. But they specifically have a sort of a side branch offshoot of that game called In Dreaming Avalon, which is a bunch of Arthurian knights and a bunch of Shakespearean fairies. I am fascinated by this concept, absolutely fascinated. The first step that I need to make this not be a white whale is to read the damn book. So that's where I'm currently stuck. I actually think that I have a group of people who would probably be very open or even just like thrillingly excited to play this with me. But I do need to read the book so that I understand how it works. I haven't read the book yet. Fair.
There you go.
So yeah, that's my
fair.
first one.
Yeah, that's a good one. My first one is that you know what? I'm going to take my first one off the list because I've actually played it once before, but I really want to play it again.
Oh.
I mean,
does that
that's
count?
fair. Yeah,
Okay.
do it's fine. I go with it.
All right, so my first one is the game Underground. I just this game never gets as much love for me as I want to give it. If you're not familiar with it, it came out in the mid to late 90s, and it is a super powered vets come home from war and have to deal with problems at home kind of thing, but the only skill set they have is blowing shit up.
Murdering.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It has a strong appeal to me. I've always loved the books. I got a taste of this once, like 10 years ago. We even ported it temporarily to Fate because the Underground rules themselves are a bit long in the tooth back then.
Yeah.
It's reached a white whale level where I don't know if I'm going to play it again, port it myself to a different game system,
Yeah.
or just cut it loose.
Yep.
Like it's a pretty distant whale. I've put a couple harpoons in it, but apparently
Yep.
not enough to take it down.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to interject my first white whale here. It would have to be like I've got a few of them, but like the one that always comes to mind of a game that I'd either love to run or play in is a game that effectively mimics the old Sliders TV show mechanics, except for you are for those not familiar, Sliders is a TV show from the 90s? I can't remember. That a person invents a device and it sends him and his friend, his professor, and a random guy to an alternate version of Earth that something had changed in the history and it created this branch of the timeline and everything was weird. And then they got stuck. The device broke and it had a timer on it. They had to try to fix what they could in that timeline and then move on to the next world. I would do a variation of that where it would be you are heroes or a fantasy troupe or whatever, classic, whatever. And you get thrown into, through magic or technology or whatever, into a different dimension. And you have to try to solve the adventure of the week effectively, right? In that world. But then you hop automatically to the next one and you don't have control over where you're going. So like you could be in high fantasy, like low fantasy world. You could be in a cyberpunk world. So you're like genre hopping effectively. And I think that would be really interesting because it could be something that would open up everything to kind of like how would your characters deal with the complete unknown to you and navigate these interesting places, like how does the language work? I mean, will we hop into dimensions and you just automatically know what everybody's saying? Probably, but like you could also play with that as well, language barriers, things like that. I think it would be really interesting. So I'll save my next one for after their next ones here.
Go ahead, you're up next.
All right, Shinobigami,
Which is
anime drama game, like standing on rooftops with the breeze flowing through your long, shiny hair. I was super excited about it for a long time, especially when I backed the Kickstarter, because it's actually a translation of the Japanese game. And I'm still really interested in the idea of it and the concept of it, but it's been like, realistically, I think I backed the Kickstarter like 10 years ago.
Whoa.
And the book's now been on my shelf for at least, I don't know, at least like 6 years, 7.
Sure.
Maybe longer than that. I don't remember how long it took them to finish, but it's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
Haven't read it, haven't played it.
No,
really still like the idea of it quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I remember that game.
Yeah.
Let's see. My next one is a Twilight 2000 game, but rather than doing the default soldiers trapped in Poland or in Sweden, I instead would like to do a Twilight 2000 game that is roughly modeled on the old CBS TV show Jericho, where you actually play in the U.S. after a collapse.
Interesting.
So like like bombs have gone off in the US, the support systems and everything collapse, and you are a town attempting to kind of survive.
Cool.
I know you're
I'm
not playing
gonna
this
play
game.
that one with you.
No.
But I love you and I want you to catch your white whale.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I knew from the start that was not one you were
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm gonna have like game conversion for you on that one.
It's okay. It's
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my second white whale would be a blend of cyberpunk and magical girls. We take those two genres, we smush them together, and we say, okay, you are cyberpunk magical girls, and you do everything you would do in a cyberpunk cross magical girl game. I think it'd be really interesting. I think there would be a lot of fun stuff you could do there. You could have some really great neon magical girl aesthetics. Would love that tremendously. And I think like the combo of like cybernetics and transformations and magic and cutesy and stuff like that. But having that like punk like vibe on the other side, either even if you lean into the was it like bubblegum punk or the actual like gritty dark trenchcoat punk, either way or both if you want, would be fantastic to play a game like that. I'd be all over that.
Cool.
Your next one?
My next one is Pasión de las Pasiones.
That's a good one.
Every time I have played this game, it has been an absolute delight. So it's a white whale for me because I would really like to play it for longer than 4 hours. I have only run this game as a one-shot, and while it does one-shot well,
Sure.
I think it does great at one-shots. I would love to experience it just breathing a little bit and getting a little bit more from it. So for me, there is a white whale for me in this this is something I really want to run for like 4 to 6 sessions or longer if everybody was into it, kind of thing, depending on what happened. Yeah.
For sure.
I love that game. I just think it's so well written. Like
It's such a good game.
it's yeah. I don't think I can say enough good things about that as a PBTA game. I just think it's really smart.
I actually think that's great, right? I love the idea. I have played a couple of one shots of it. I also think it's very smart.
It's great.
I think the trick to playing it long term is probably to be a little less funny.
Well, it's probably to go a little less hard.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
But-
Like you
but
could
also-
you could play a longer, more subtle.
Yes, it could be a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the getting knocked out of the game mechanics for Pasión de las Pasiones are brilliant. And
Mhm.
I've rarely gotten to engage them in a one shot. And they're things like there's like 5 or 6 of them on a list, right? Before your character's actually out for good.
Yeah.
And there's stuff like you're back in the game, but you have amnesia, right?
Mhm.
Like, so like they're really
All those
really
telenovela
good.
tropes,
So,
it's
like,
so good.
even if you didn't bring the level down at all, like if you were going to play it for a long time, I think you'd have to make it a little bit more subtle, because otherwise you just jump the shark every single game and you would get some sort of you'd get probably tired of that level.
Yeah, spam it out a little.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like but like I said, there are mechanics that I have not been able to engage from a one-shot perspective that are equally as brilliant as some of the other stuff in there. And so I'd love to see some of that stuff just pulled out a little bit longer, just making it last a little longer, and like making it a little bit more like gasp, like surprise and all of that kind of stuff.
100% for sure.
I think it would be great. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What's yours?
Okay. Next one on my list is this one is another one that harkens back to a long lost TV show in the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a TV show called 7 Days. Really
good
quick,
show.
The U.S. government is possession of a time machine that can go 7 days into the past.
Yeah.
And they only use it for catastrophes and like world-ending events. There is a BBC show that is very similar to this that's called The Lazarus Project, which was also very good. Theirs
Interesting.
went back a whole year. There was a save point that they could go back to. But the premise being is that bad things happen, and then you have to kind of investigate what happened, but then jump back in time in order to stop them. And you only have 7 days, right? The window rolls 7 days. And I want to do this using Night's Black Agents because I think that's a good
Oh, that would be interesting. I don't know. I didn't try to double click there. Sorry about that.
modern thriller set for investigation, and it does action. It does action reasonably well.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good
requires
choice.
a little extra mechanics to be wrapped around it. Specifically, skills have to take a certain amount of time, and you're going to have to kind of make timelines for all the characters. Like, there's a little extra work involved with it. Can it be done? 100%.
Yeah.
If I had, if I took a week and sat down and brained it out, I could do this.
I just literally had an idea that I feel like might work for that. I'm going to say it out loud, and we're both going to forget it because we don't remember anything that we do on the mics.
Sure,
what if
record it?
Yeah, sure, right? Then we could not listen to it back later to find it.
Yeah.
What if time is basically the currency for that game.
Yeah.
You could almost do it as a currency, and each person has X amount of currency in front of them, right? And then they could spend it.
So pretty close. I do think that would work. I do think that would work, right? The way you spend it is almost the same way the timeline thing would work, is that certain skills
just take longer.
Right. Like, so if you're going to run a DNA analysis, right, that's like 12 hours, right? So like, but that's different from like, I'm going to go question suspects. Right.
Because the thing about I'm going to go question suspects is you can say, I want to do that for 2 hours, or you can say I want to do that for 10 hours.
Yeah. So it's the same currency thing.
Yeah.
It's just the idea of like, you go around the table and you're like, okay, what are you doing? Well, I'm going to go run that DNA analysis. Okay.
Yeah, because you got to line everybody up against each other.
Your character's out 8 hours, like at 2 a.m. And it only becomes important
because 7 days running, that this is now how much in front of the event you can go back to.
Correct.
Basically, how much time you spend after. Yeah.
Right. You investigate a long time, or it takes you a long time to find out who it is.
Cool.
Then
you might only have like 10 hours before the thing happens when you go backwards.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you could just choose to go get some clues and be like,
and then just
nope.
jump back. We got 6 days to figure the rest of this out.
Continue the investigation.
Yeah, but in the past.
Oh yeah, that'd be wild.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's some strategy and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, that's my next white whale.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. So, and this is funny because I've just played so many one-shots in my life because she's a super geek, right? And some of them I really wanted to play for longer and I have not gotten to. And one of those is Bite Marks, which I really enjoyed. And I think with a little bit more
Can't
air
remember what that game is about.
in terms of time to breathe, would really bring out some of the really neat community aspects that are written into that game. We're talking werewolves, so this is a werewolf thing. Yeah.
I can help you with this.
With bite marks?
I've wanted to run bite marks.
Oh my God, really? What are we doing with our lives?
It's on my shelf. Like
I know it's on my shelf too.
Yeah, no, we should. Okay, hysterically.
Okay,
we should talk later.
We should talk later.
Maybe we should try running it.
Yeah, maybe we should just do a bite marks game.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we might.
Do you know anything about werewolf culture?
You are being very sly today.
I think you might know a little too much about werewolf culture.
It's not necessarily werewolf culture. Let's just call it like it is. That's Omegaverse, right? Like, it just depends on what kind of werewolf culture we're talking about.
I'm not sure they had Omegaverse in mind when they made the game.
Probably not.
But also, I don't know how you avoid Omegaverse.
You make it less spicy.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, I
mean, there's a difference. Anyway, we shouldn't talk about this. There might be children listening, Phil.
You should not be listening if you're a child. Becky Anderson. Anderson wrote bite marks.
Becky Anderson, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
She's great.
I just had to quick. I had to quick.
Yeah, you were thinking of because of your answer to
Becky
a secret
Chambers.
question. Yes.
Anyway, let me look at the time.
So my final white whale would be, as a player, I would love to play in a campaign, either a short one or very long, that has a lot of emotional stakes. Would love to have an arc for my character that is both epic, but also has like a slow burn romance. I think would be really fantastic. I haven't been able to play in that space at all as a player, more than just like hinting at it or so. And I haven't had the right GM, I think, to meander through that, either with an NPC or the right group where another player would want to kind of work that together. We almost had that a couple of times, but those games fell apart in the much earlier stages, unfortunately. Had an online game of Symbarum, I believe, that was kind of promising that sort of level of emotional attachment to the characters. So I'm very curious if I could get in a game like that. So that's kind of my generic white whale. I want to say fantasy would be ideal, but like I also would love the sci-fi nature with those sorts of, like, not really sure, sci-fi, cyberpunk, or fantasy. Probably fantasy. Epic fantasy would probably be the ideal, but I don't know what game at that point. Probably not Dungeons and Dragons, but I could be convinced otherwise if it had the emotional stakes in it.
Stop us there on our game white whales.
Okay.
We each have some more.
We do.
But I want to break out the bonus question before we wrap up the show.
Let's do it.
Okay, so as book nerds,
yes.
What books would you love to be an RPG?
Yes.
And you don't have to specify systems or anything, but just why the book would be a fun RPG.
The Wheel of Time?
Yeah. I mean, my first one is the Locked Tomb, but we've talked about that one a lot already.
Yeah,
I
Locked
don't
Tomb's
think I need to necessarily
fantastic answer.
Right. I think the only thing you need I think the Locked Tomb is an incredibly evocative setting. I think the only thing you need for a TTRPG for it is to come up with a core loop.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
Which
who
is what
are you and what do you do?
I have a couple of versions that do that.
Yeah, because I think if you stay below the god level, there's a lot of interesting things you could do for a while with the houses and the types of magic, and like there's a lot of stuff that could happen.
Yes.
that game that book series suffers in game terms the Immortals D&D set problem. Like,
oh yeah, it totally could. Yeah,
there's a
like,
problem
oh,
where
you're a lictor now. Like, you
Right.
can just bend the universe to your will as long as you're not in space.
Yeah, it's
Like-
like there's just I can't, yeah, there's so I think that there's a certain, but like we said, we've talked about it before, but also I think it's a really neat setting. I think it's just a matter of the loop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
My first one is
There we
my
go.
first one is a delightful book I read at the beginning of the year called The Society
still
of
here,
Unknowable
TikTok.
Objects.
Society of
It's
Unknowable
about a
Objects.
group that collects these magical items, and for the most part, these magical items aren't terribly powerful or scary, but they do stuff. And the goal is like when one of these surfaces in the world, they track it down, find it, and recover it.
Right.
I don't want to give anything else away about the story because the story is much more interesting than just that premise. But it is semi cozy. Like it runs out of a little bookstore in England, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a mid to low stakes kind of thing. The book, again, quite excellent, a very enjoyable read if you like that kind of thing. I think it could be a fun little game of like drinking tea and recovering little weird magic objects.
I love it. I would play that game.
Yeah.
I need to read that book. Anyway,
sounds
Oh my
really
god,
cozy.
you really do. You should, you should when you come out, you should snag it from me.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
just read it while you're here
I'll
because
just
it's,
read
it.
it's a quick read.
it's fine.
You'll
I'll
kill
just
it.
read it. Yeah, I think the second one of mine is also very predictable, I think, which is This Is How You Lose the Time War. I spent some serious time after I read this book trying to come up with how I would, like, what I want from that book to be a game.
Yep.
And I think my answer to that question was the thing that I really liked was specifically the cadence of like one person describing like the setup of a scene somewhere in
Hey,
time.
Lilac, how's it going?
Somewhere in a body, and what
Thanks for
their
joining.
existence was, and then the way that they find the next letter, right?
Mhm.
That it's like in the skin of a seal that they just killed,
Yeah.
or it's, in the tree rings of the tree they just chopped down or whatever, right? And then that the other player is writing the story, like the letter that they wrote, and then they get the letter, right? Like,
It's going really
so
well.
I've actually thought about this to the point that like what I want.
Almost done with pandas here, but yeah, it's been a good day. It's finally beautiful weather out, and we're gonna be going for a bike ride after I'm done with the stream here in a couple hours or so. So hopefully, and tomorrow's Memorial Day, so I'm gonna be having my mom over, and we're gonna be doing a cookout. So I think it's gonna be a nice weekend, I believe.
Player sends the letter based on that scene and then describes where they are, and then the person sends them a letter. But I haven't figured out beyond that being the loop. Like, what do you do? I don't know. So it's not a game yet. But anyway, there is a game.
Hopefully
out
your
there, I haven't
weekend's
played
been
it
going
yet,
well.
That is supposed to be a This Is How You Lose the Time War game. I don't know if it will fulfill that particular desire of mine, but I think it will still be really cool. I do think that that's a very cool setting. But I think part of what's cool
thank you,
about
good
that book
fella.
is the setting, and part of what's cool about that is the very structured approach to the first probably 3/4 of the book in the writing of it, being that it is scene, letter, scene, letter, scene, letter. And I
interesting.
really like that. And apparently I have a thing for epistolary games, so, whatever.
It's
Yeah.
such a good book.
It's a really good book. If you haven't read it, you should probably read it. It's like 200 pages. It's not very long, and it's super worth it. I read it like
100%.
I think I've read it like 4 times. Anyway, cool. What's your next one?
My next one is Kings of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I need to read more.
Kings of the Wild was a fantastically fun read. It is a fantasy world, and I don't read fantasy almost ever, but it's a fantasy world where adventurers are essentially rock stars. And
interesting.
Your party is a band.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And just even the way it's written, the different roles in the group are kind of like the different instruments in a band.
Could you play it in Rockalypse?
No, you don't need to, because it's not actually about music.
Okay, good.
Oh.
It's really about like these bands would go and like clear monsters like from nearby villages and things like that. And, they'd have these kind of epic run-ins with things and, then come to town and they'd be treated like rock stars and all that stuff. The book is a blast to read. It is a really fun read about a one last job getting the band back together story.
Yeah.
Would 100% play in this world.
Yes.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Very enjoyable book. Kings of the Wild.
Nice.
Interesting.
My next one is Hell's Heart, which I can't help but thinking about because we're talking about white whales. And I just think, again, this is a setting that I would be really fascinated to play in. So Hell's Heart is a sci-fi retelling of Moby Dick in which you
Speaking of white whales,
basically are on a boat ship that is sailing through the gaseous body of Jupiter, hunting massive alien weird whale monstrosities, right?
Oh,
like
weird.
Gigantic things where the power source of the exceedingly capitalist, like beyond late stage capitalism, absolute collapse society that is the basis of this book is run completely off of the basically off of the brain matter of these gargantuan whale-like creatures. And so it's just really cool because you're sailing around inside of Jupiter hunting weird-ass monsters. I think that would be a super fun game, right? Like, and it's sort of sailory and it's sort of piratey and it's sort of got like some of that R to it, but also spaceships.
I know you won't love this, but to me, this is a game with phases, right? Like there's a phase where we're like on the ship doing ship things and having scenes about relationships. And then there's like a phase where like, it's been spotted, right? Like,
You're not wrong. Like this could be a very cool Blades in the Dark hack.
Could be Blades in the Dark, could be something else, but I think it's definitely a game
Something
with phases.
It is because there is like the downtime and then there is the whoop. We've sighted a spout in the gases ahead, right?
Yep. And then you're, and then it's a bit tactical. It's a bit, heroic and rolling dice to kill things.
Right. And you're like, the tactical part is like you take these little ships out to basically come at it.
So I would posit Nova by Spencer Campbell would be a fantastic fit for a game like this. It has the phases. It has the the downtime versus the missions, and albeit the downtime mechanics are very sparse on purpose, but the missions themselves, the moves and all that sort of stuff, lend very well to that strategy sort of engagement with the enemy. And it also is fast. It's very fast paced and quick and cinematic. It's really a fascinating game.
And then like you can like leap out with like harpoons and stuff and jump onto their backs and try to drive it into the I'm like it's a cool book. It was a very neat book. I really enjoyed it. It's also by Alexis Hall, who's one of my favorite authors, I think, right now.
Yep.
Anyway, that's me. Yep, Hell's Heart.
My next one, last one for me on my list, A Psalm for the Wild Built.
I love that, but tell me what part you would play as what you're going for as a game.
I want to do like a cozy, like a wander home, kind of like, you know what I'm like. I want to do one where it's about like a journey, like you're trying to get to a place, but also you have like your character has a journey somewhere they want to be, but also they have like a internal turmoil.
Yeah.
And like your scenes are either about the journey or about your turmoil. Like you decide.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's just about like meeting people, like the story, like making tea for people, listening to their stories, and then, back on the road, kind of like I think it could be a really done correctly, it's a quote low stakes, like it's low threat.
Yes.
But like you are attempting to resolve a personal issue, which I think could be both acted and mechanical.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then like the journey part of like, oh, maybe we can't get like there's an avalanche or, sudden rains. And like, we've had to, we almost lost some supplies and things like that. And a mix of those. And then pair that with like from Psalm for the Wild build, this really evocative world.
Yeah. It's a beautiful world. I mean,
and the kind of neat part is like the thing I liked about it was like there are times where the main character like makes a camp and like isn't worried about like getting eaten by like
not.
Yeah, he's just like, well, I need to make camp, right? And they like sets up like his camp and his kitchen. And to me, I think it would be a really fun. I don't think you can play it for a super long time.
Right.
But I do think like it would be a really neat like chill kind of game.
Yeah.
Chill but with feels.
With feelings. I like that. Yeah, I think the last one that I came up with was The Future of Another Timeline. The Future of Another Timeline.
We were talking about this in the car the other morning. Yes, I would play this.
Yeah, this is a book by Annalee Newitz in which she somewhat turns the tropes about time travel stories on their heads, in that the story is, I mean, there's a lot of pieces to it, but the sort of basics of the story are there's a group of women in the future who are essentially future suffragists, right? Who are going back in time and specifically making changes to the timeline to create a more inclusive future, right? What I would personally consider to be a better future. And then there's a group of sort of shadowy incels who are also specifically going back in time and trying to create what I would consider to be a worse future, a less inclusive, less accepting future, right? Very patriarchal future, right? And so it's this like thing where you're going, back along the timeline, and making little changes or convincing people to do something differently than they did in the history that you remember, to make changes to your future intentionally, right?
Yeah.
So the other cool thing so firstly, there's that, which is just fun. Like, you are going back in the past to specifically make a change. But the other thing that's cool about it is that if you are traveling the timeline when a change is made, when you get back to your home like time, you will still remember the timeline as it was when you left.
Oh.
But if you were in the timeline, if you were in your native time when a change occurred, you will not remember that it was ever any different. Right?
Interesting.
So one of the really interesting things about the book is whenever they are all in the same time, whenever they're back in their actual current time, these women gather together and they go around the circle and they say, I remember when, and then they share something, because it means that there's this whole group of people that have memories that no one else remembers anymore.
Oh, it's wild.
And it's really cool. So there's two parts to it that I'd be really interested in playing. Firstly, going back in time and specifically making changes to try to change the timeline forward, right?
Yep.
And secondly, just that really kind of emotional moment of like being able to then go through around the circle and state, I remember when, right? And every time they go back to that circle, like, we're really only following one person, but there are people in that circle who are saying, I remember when, and they're saying different memories than we've experienced from the book, and that are drastically different than anybody else is saying. And it's just such a cool thing to see, kind of like all the different things that could be that are not. Also, just as a side note, it's a really cool time travel system, which seems like it's some sort of alien technology, basically, that was put on Earth. Because it's actually implanted in the ground at specific locations geographically, and it's known through all these timelines. So you go back to the 20s, and there's a guy who kind of keeps track of who comes and goes, and you can pay him to get a boat down to Chicago or whatever, right? Or you go back to a different timeline spot, and they have a little city around it where you got to get basically your time travel passport checked in. Like, all along the timeline, people know that this this exists and that there will be time travelers, which is also just wild. Like, you're not trying to fake it. Like, here you are. You came from the future. Awesome. Welcome. Don't fuck anything up. Have fun. Bye. Right. So I think that would be a really fun style of story, and also really cool concept of time travel to play through too.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
Okay, with that, we've kind of used up our hour.
Oh, we sure
Matt,
did.
Thank you for a great topic. We enjoyed chasing it down for you. Wink, wink. Cindy, where can people find us on the internet?
Well, you can find us at polygamerous/panda, and that is polygamero.us/panda. That has all of the different places that you can connect with us on the internet. Probably I should review it and make sure that's still accurate. I promise I'll do it eventually. But it does have everything there.
Warning, she has ADHD. That means never. She'll forget to do it later.
To put on the to-do list. But yes, those are some of the different ways that you can get a hold of us. And Phil, once they have chosen their favorite way to reach out to us, what can they do with that information?
Yep, just like Matt did. Drop us a topic. In Matt's case, that one didn't even have a question. Just drop us a topic.
Discuss.
We'll make something out of it, which is exactly what we did.
Yeah.
So do that because we want to answer questions, provide insight, and just share our opinion on things in hopes that it all helps you have more better games.
Indeed.
If you like what we do here or elsewhere on the Polygamers Network, hit us up on Patreon at patreon.com/MMP. Joining the Patreon gets you access to our Slack channel. Slack is the place where we like to hang out. Much like Matt did, you can drop your topics right in Slack. I'm not saying you can't get us the other ways. You can.
You definitely can.
But Slack is a thing.
Faster at Slack.
Yes. And if you want the fastest, you can DM us. And we do not get upset about that. If you're in our Slack community, you are welcome to DM us. Like, that's what we're here for. So happy to grab those topics from you. In fact, it's the only way this show exists because we don't do it any other way.
We don't come up with topics on our own.
Correct.
True.
So anyway, if you are backing our Patreon, thank you very much. If you're unable to back our Patreon, we understand. There's still a thing you can do. It requires a little bit of your time, helps immensely, and a number of you have been benefits of this. Senda, what is that thing?
You can tell a friend about the show if somebody seems like they would be interested or they're in the market for a system agnostic talkie show about RPGs that is not an actual play. Here we are. It's us. We're here. We really appreciate it when you word of mouth spread this around because we no longer have any interest in marketing for ourselves. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, friends.
It's too much work.
You can also leave us a rating or review on Apple Podcast or the podcatcher of your choice, wherever you're listening to this show. We really appreciate those as well because that's like telling a stranger, hey, this show was worth listening to, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, Senda. We really should start talking about bite marks and seeing if we can't make a one-on-one bite marks game.
Wow, apparently we should talk about bite marks. Jeez.
Show me what you got.
Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Show me what you got.
There we go. Whoops. Meant to grab both of them. We will take that and go to the front here. First, we got to do closer and move back to the front of the outtakes and pop that in there. Perfect. Head back here to the tail of the episode. This is the Bamboo Lounge. I'm going to put a little marker there. Lounge. And we got to pull in the lounge intro music. Somewhere in there. It's quite long. So, well, not super long per se. I'm going to put a 5-minute buffer on that. Just so it gets out of the way. And put that there. Perfect. I head back to the ending, and we're going to pop on the ending music, which I believe probably right around there. Move the closer out, and here we go with the fade. There we go. Outtakes at the end. Go to the beginning here. And let's quickly move these over. Oh, I totally lost my cursor. Did I grab everything? That's a good question. I did. Cool. Cut those. Wait a moment for it to squish it all together. We're thinking like 4 minutes and 41 seconds. I'm going to need a little bit more of a buffer at the end here. I thought a 5-minute buffer would have been good enough, but apparently they were a little chatty in the intro, and that's okay. Come on. I said, there we go. Japers. Apparently my button press before did not work correctly. That's all right. And out here, we're going to add another, just say a minute of silence just to be safe. Paste the outtakes there. And that is the first part of the episode. So now I'm just going to go through the bonus here real quick.
Yeah, what is that sound that, like, what?
It was on TikTok all over the place.
Okay.
And now it's part of my echolog.
That was a while ago.
I mean, that's fair. So,
I can't.
Real quick, because we don't want to take up too much of Ryan's time, but you're here for the Bamboo Lounge, so we're gonna
do the Bamboo Lounge.
Let's do the
I
lounge.
read 2 delightful books recently.
Oh boy, is this going to be a reading report? Because I think I probably need to look up. Keep going.
I mean, you only need to pick like a book or so.
I mean, you say that.
So I read a delightful book called Cleat Cute, which was a lesbian soccer romance, which I adored. It's the second book I've read from that author, and it was I enjoyed it just as much as the first book. Meryl Wilsner. Meryl Wilsner is the author. I really enjoyed their first book that I read, which I read like last year or something. Mistakes Were Made. That was really good. But in Cleat Cute, what I really enjoyed, as much as I enjoyed the romance part, I really enjoyed that the characters were neurodivergent coded. Mm-hmm. So one of them is autistic coded and one of them is ADHD coded.
Were they coded or were they just explicitly autistic and ADHD?
So they start like 3/4 of the book is coded.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, the ADHD one is identified, and they hint that the autism character probably needs to get tested.
Okay.
But it was good. Like, and if you are neurodivergent, you will and are either of those neurodivergent types, you will easily see yourself in the characters. It was delightful for me because it reminded me so much of us.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
To me, the ultimate neurodivergent power couple is always to pair your ADHD with your TISM.
Yeah, you gotta have someone who gotta have some TISM in there to keep things on the rails, and you gotta got a little bit of ADHD in there to help make things adventurous.
Correct.
Yeah.
It is the chocolate and peanut butter of neurodiversity. But anyway, delightful book. Pretty quick read. I think I read that one pretty quickly. And then the other book I read, which was a fucking trip, was There Is No Anti-Memetics Division.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to explain this book. You should just go read the blurb online. But this thing was born out of SCP fiction. So if you like Cthulhian SCP kind of stuff, this is your fucking jam. The book is weird. The story is fucking out there. And the whole idea of anti-memes is just like my brain had a blast kind of wrapping its head around like what, like how that would even work.
Yeah.
Like the idea of an anti-meme is a thing you can't remember.
Yep.
So like the idea is that there are just things in the world that like you are seeing.
Yeah.
But your brain can't perceive it, or there are places you can go, but as soon as you walk away from them, you forget.
Some Doctor Who episodes like that.
You can't even see it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's wild. And then there being a division of these secret agents who are trying to combat these like anti-memetic horrors. Like fucking wild. And it read really quickly. I thought...
Yeah, you polished that thing off.
I wonder what the page count on that was. Go ahead. You talk for a second.
Okay. While you find yours.
I
read a bunch of books. The ones that I will call out are I ended up reading some of them new, but rereading some of them. Naomi Novik has sort of a set of 3 very fairy tale-esque books. One of them was The Summer War, which is on the Hugo Novellas list for this year. So I read The Summer War, Spinning Silver, and Uprooted, all by Naomi Novik in the last couple of weeks. Uprooted was actually a book club book, so that was the one I needed to read, but I just went off and read all of them because why not? They were great. So really enjoyed those. I also read Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite, which was...
That's on my bookshelf.
It was a delight. It was like sci-fi, cozy murder mystery, and I really liked it. A lot, quite a lot actually, and it's also very short. It's also on the Hugo Novellas nominees for this year. So I think I only have one Hugo Novella nominee left to read, and then I hope we'll have read all of them. Skipping around a little bit, I think the other one,
pausing real quick.
Yeah,
280 pages.
Okay, so it's not super long.
It's not super long. I moved through it pretty quickly, though. I did have some longer reading sessions because I was really into it.
Really interested, yeah. And then I think the last one I'll just call out is Platform Decay by Martha Wells, which is the latest Murderbot book, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. And I really liked it.
The best thing I heard,
really
no spoiler,
yeah.
but I heard that it is Murderbot meets the... what is it? Babysitter Club or whatever. Yeah, the Babysitter Club.
Maybe, but like my favorite thing about it, and this gets explained very early in the book, so I don't think it's really a spoiler. My favorite thing about it is that Murderbot has installed a mental health module that just checks in on its emotional health whenever it senses like brain chemicals happening. And so like throughout the book, there's just like there's just emotion check like all over the place, right? Which is different and an evolution, and I loved it. And its little blurb about how that ended up getting created and how it got installed is great, because Murderbot is basically in therapy, and I love it. I love Murderbot so much. Murderbot is like so relatable.
I need to get into that series.
Levels.
I mean, some have also said that Murderbot is autistic coded.
It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to look at anybody in the eye.
Right.
Ever.
It is constantly.
It wants to have a mask over its face.
Yes. It hates small talk.
It hates small talk, and it doesn't understand. It knows that it does not understand how to function in human social rules.
Yes.
And
yet it constantly is forced into those situations. It's
constantly forced to.
Yeah.
And in the end, it also it just kind of, it likes humans, right? Like that's part of what makes it like really, really just an empathetic character to me, is that it likes humans. It just does. It has humans that it has connected to, and it likes them, and it doesn't want them to get hurt, and it is reluctant to randomly hurt other humans. And like, but it also is like, ugh, humans, so squishy and weird. Don't touch me. right? Like,
Right.
and yeah, that's great. I
Anyway.
really like Murderbot. If you haven't read any Murderbot, you should probably read some Murderbot.
Oh, I can't. I also will second that. Like Murderbot is chef's kiss. There was a Humble Bundle a little while ago that was like all of the EPUBs for Murderbot. So I have all but Platform Decay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I usually just slip them into my reading in between like books. I'll just be like, oh, I need a quick read.
Yeah, I mean they're nice for that, right? But like I couldn't. For me, I did the ADHD, which is I read the first one. I was like, that was really good, and I had it in a set of. I had the set that was. It's 3 of them published into a single volume. So I was like, well, I'm not stopping. So I finished the first volume, and like realistically, the thing about Murderbot that I actually think is really funny is, while the first story is a really good introduction to Murderbot, and it's a very good like sci-fi. Story, like kind of locked in story. I don't think it's the best of the Murderbot books. But it is everything that you need to know to be able to read the rest of them. And that's not saying that it's bad. It's just saying it's not my favorite of the books. So like, in my opinion, they just keep getting better. Like, because as we get deeper and deeper into like what the hell is going on with its psyche, like I just think they get more and more interesting because we are exploring the concept of humanity from inside of the Murderbot's brain, where we are approaching it like, yes, my friend, you are deserving of all of these things because you clearly think, act, and function like on a semi-organic brain and are deserving of being treated like a human. But inside of Murderbot, like that's not necessarily what's going on. And it's really interesting. Okay, we should probably wrap this up, yeah?
I agree. Okay, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch up with you. I believe we're back next week. We are back next. Yeah. Next week's the 30th. We're back.
Okay, good.
We'll be here next week. We'll catch up with you and we'll remind you of when the other
dates that we just listed off at the beginning. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, see everybody. Bye-bye. Bye. And
Stop. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and export these really quick. Really easy to do. I just need to get to the right directory. And this is the Bamboo Lounge. Everything else looks fine. Hit OK. This part only takes a few seconds. And then once this is done, we'll export the episode proper. Here. Pretty sure we've got everything. I could put dramatic pirate music in there, but I don't think I can easily find something for that. So we'll just go with it the way it is, and it will be fine. I do like a good bit, but I don't have time. Maybe I'll get to that later. We'll see. Who knows? For now, exporting this, and then I will do a real quick delete of all the little silent gaps to shorten anything that's over 0.6 seconds down to 600 milliseconds to give some nice natural pause lengths that aren't too long but not too short at the same time. I think I started out with half-second pause gaps when I first started editing, and it was just a little too fast. And I found 0.6 was kind of like the sweet spot, which is very nice. So go to diagnosis, scan, and shorten all. It takes just a moment. We save that, and then we go to the white whales proper. And I believe we can easily take care of these. There's none at the start. Fantastic. We'll go through the episode itself. Shorten these up. This is the one that takes the longest, so it'll be like just a few seconds longer or so. In the meantime, unable to do anything in Adobe Audition. That's okay. It's just going through and shortening all these little gaps in the background and then tidies it all up. And then finally, the outtakes section. I like to leave the music sections alone because it just makes sure that the music portions are not impeded at all in case there's any small little gaps in the songs. I don't think there is in the Panda's Talking Games intro music and whatnot, but whatever. It's a force of habit at this point. Okay, so now we're just saving it as MP3s, and then I will deliver those right away to the directory they belong in. As soon as it's done saving. There we go. Reveal in Explorer. We're over on the other page. Grabbing the audio file directory. And Shazam. 422, White Whales, and Bamboo Lounge delivered and done. So now I can actually go ahead and mark that episode as completed in my little timesheet thing. And then we will go from there. So 420, where'd it go? I had it and then it ran away from me. I'm gonna have to refresh my page here. No, nobody's able to see my other monitor at this point, but that's okay. While that is loading, Starwhal, I think session 17 is what we were on. There we go. $423 is the next one. Perfect. And I think that is all set for next weekend, so I will keep that there. Good to go. Now we are on episode 56 of Starwhal, which is loading right now. We have got music and sound effects remaining. And I can deliver the episode tomorrow on that one, because this one's going to take about half an hour to export. So we've got the episode dialogue edited. I don't think there's a terrible ton to do in here for the actual background. I just need to know, like, where are we starting in this?
I'm excited to win.
Okay, so they're in this like spherical wild area, right? They're at the Beelzebub or Beelzebub Awards. So I've got some full surround sound crowd talking, some crowd laughter going on in the background a little bit. And we'll kind of see how long that is going to last. I think eventually they get out of this initial dialogue and into the actual awards. So we'll fade whenever that happens. We do have a themes poll in there as well. So let's see.
I'm excited to win this award. So many awards I'm gonna win. Just you wait and see.
Don't be chuggy. Here we go.
Wow. Okay. And we've got some learning music coming up here. That is Rhythm Scott, the Sunniest Kids instrumental. One of my favorite sound designer bits of the show is tossing in this little bit of learning music when we start talking about interesting stuff or stuff from like yesteryears. I'm going to need to silence that a little bit.
Daddy,
Chuggy.
I can't wait to hear.
Chuggy.
In the voice.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Daddy. I'm asking Daddy. What
Yeah.
Chuggy means?
middle management turns and goes, oh, well, Chuggy's like cringe. Like, stop being so annoying.
I mean, kinda. Kind of a
Are you saying
chuggy
that's
way
not what
to describe it, actually. But I'll forgive you.
Because I'll forgive you for speaking back to me.
Oh.
Weird energy coming from Daddy.
And I think, Tag, you
Oh goodness. I do enjoy this music in the background over this, but I do want to wrap it up sooner. Let's see.
stop being so.
This will be there.
I have been on the.
That's, I think, where we want to cut it. Here and here. And we will smush these together and create a shortened version of this song.
Like, stop being so annoying.
There we go.
I mean, kinda. Kind of
Are
a
you saying
cheeky
that's
way
not what
to describe it, actually. But I'll forgive you.
Good. Because I'll forgive you for speaking back to me.
Weird energy coming from Daddy.
Oh boy. Okay, perfect. So I think now we've got some sound effects to throw in here. We need a drink pouring. Pour liquid in no ice. What do we got here? That's a good pour. Okay, we're gonna be grabbing that. Got all sorts of sound effects for things. Okay.
Pink champagne like drinks that we've got.
Let's see. No, that doesn't have the bubbles per se. So I'm curious if I can find a better one that could be all these water sounds. I'm so sorry for anybody that has to go to the bathroom right now. Water can't. No. Well, see. No, see, I'm not versed in champagne or champagne at all, but my brain thinks that it's kind of fizzy. So if I add a little bit of that fizz at the end here, does that make sense?
Gonna hand one, Thibodeau management. And like, look, you know, the stress of this award show has gotten to me too. And I know that it's getting to you, and I know that we're nervous, but I'm gonna win. And a win for me is what?
Bet.
Is a win for me is a win for you. Remember we talked about it's we're a team. So a win for me is
a team. Yes, you're right. Win for you is a win for me.
Clink.
To deeper levels of hell. And there's a clink.
And like the ringing of the glass.
Oh yeah, we got some crystal ringing going on here. Rain. Let's see. What would that be? Resonance. What is this? Oh, that's not. Yeah, I think we can go with like this metal sword resonance sound. Might be pretty nice. So let's pop that in here because we love a little dramatic.
And like the ringing of the glass kind of like fills this empty space that you have for your special seats.
Oh my god.
I love Dylan's performance in this as Tag so much. They are a true delight. Let's see. I need a theme. I wonder if I've got the theme music in here. I do. Fantastic. We'll get that in here with a swell. A little too much of a swell, it looks like. We'll tighten that up. This is here. We're going to have to negative 10, 15 that.
Yeah, roll me a d12 and tell me the number.
Okay, 5.
5 is the Merry Wanderer. Travel, detachment, freedom, and luck.
Oh, interesting. I think, okay, Dylan, I think this is up to you.
Oh, I gotta get the...
It's really interesting because Tag has been feeling disconnected kind of from this whole thing, particularly learning about feeling their dragon heritage.
I need to get the repeating bridge in here. Get that down to negative 20, I think. Or is it 25? I think it's 25. We'll see how far out this one goes.
Disconnected kind of from this whole thing, particularly learning about feeling their dragon heritage. So I feel like this one can go either way for you. I'm going to let you decide whether they win or lose. What do you think?
And this is specifically for the most reactions one, the one that
I was hoping for. Yeah.
I think it's more it's more satisfying to me if he loses that one, and particularly because that one middle management did not care about me winning that one. That one was just a me thing. That was just something that would have made me happy.
Yeah.
So I think me losing it makes sense in this moment.
How does Tag feel about that? Does Tag feel let down by that, or is there a sense of I used to think this was matters, but it doesn't anymore, like that sort of thing?
No, I think Tag is kind of upset. Has been trying, especially because we're stuck here in this booth with Daddy. And I think it's like trying to find Tag is like trying to find the things that make this bearable, and those are the moments that like Tag can latch on to.
That's an that I didn't catch in the original edit. So we're going to grab that and fix this up a little bit. There we go.
Can latch on to care about, because like right now it's just your year on display, and I'm not surrounded by paparazzi. I'm not surrounded by fans. I don't have friends around. I don't have anything. I'm just sitting here next to this dilapidated god who I hate and who I keep feeding champagne in the hopes that, he'll talk to me less. And there is no, this whole situation sucks more to Tag by every minute. And all he wants is to find something that he can latch onto that's going to make him feel better about the whole thing. And that was kind of it. And it slipped through his fingers. And now all he wants to do is get the fudge out of here and find his new friends and make plans and start something new. And he can't. He's got to sit here and watch the rest of his judgment go by.
I think there's that sense within you, Tag, particularly with this pull of the Merry Wanderer, that there is freedom.
All right. So we're going to add about a 2-second gap of swell here. I think this is a perfect point to end the theme. You just nudge it out a little.
That there is freedom.
Okay, I wanted to pull Dylan's response in here. There is freedom. Put that under the swell.
Freedom. you didn't realize how shackled you were
Perfect.
until this moment. And suddenly there's an inkling of freedom. Even losing this award, you're able to look out and you see this sea of people in this spherical place with the stage up there. And you watch as the streamer who wins, who I think is a deemingling named Kavan Costnor, who goes up there and gets the award. But as you're looking, you're able to see into the crowd, and for some reason, you pick out Sack. In a sea of people, you pick him out next to PD, and you can have this taste in your mouth of possibly freedom.
Oh, his stream was awesome.
Was it?
I think I need to make this volume a little lower for the overall audience. Let's see, -10 should do it.
Stream he feels okay about. Most.
Yeah, that should be fine.
And you can have this taste in your mouth of possibly freedom.
Oh, his stream was awesome.
Was
he
it?
built himself this
Okay, so what do we have? We got a lot of.
And it's like,
But I think that
The stinger is it smash cuts. They've edited it, so it smash cuts to that moment where Sack said, "Oh yeah, no."
oh, you guys are going to the
You
wedding.
guys are going to the
I
wedding.
RSVP'd for you. And PD goes, what?
And everyone laughs.
So now we need some audience laughter in here. Let's see. Do I have... Got a laugh track here. That's fine. Pull that in. We'll see if I can layer this a little bit, because there's a lot of people in here. And we'll lower the volume on that so it sounds like it's in the background.
Everyone laughs.
and it's like, it's a big close up of PD's face.
As she's reaching down to grab Sack by the face, by the snoot.
Oh yeah, no, she like fully picked him up by the face.
Yeah.
And I think you shook him a little bit
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Some applause.
That's
Absolutely.
definitely on camera.
Yeah. And everybody's roaring with laughter.
Roaring with laughter. All right, settle down. And tag for whatever the fuck this is. And what's the prank tag?
We see Tag is
We got knocked
like,
back against a
holding
wall.
their rat like selfie style, so it's like kind of shaky cam-esque as Tag's like hiding behind a pillar, and it's like, okay, they're about to come around the corner. Shh, we can't make any noise, and then like fumbles with it to turn it around. And it's just someone that Tag's audience would know as Tag's former best friend, who then like opens up
All right.
against the wall and like falls down screaming. They have to stop the tape where like Tag is laughing like maniacally, and the smash.
Okay. That's there. I needed to check one thing here quick. There we go. And then this should be, where's the time on that? 16 minutes ago we started. Let's just add that, and then there we go. I needed to ensure that I was on the clock here. Okay, so knock back against the wall. We've got some audience applause. Applause. Okay, that should be fine enough. We'll pull that in. Kind of double it up a little because we got a lot of folks in here. Come on. Pull forward. And then we will -10.
Others. And big old
The
collapses.
original.
The original.
Yeah. She comes up in a gold puffy jacket.
Amazing. Okay. And then we've got some sinister stuff happening here. Trying to remember.
And you still don't, because middle management is placid in this moment.
Oh.
And there's even, inexplicably, a bit of a small smile on there.
Okay, so I need to, we're gonna lower the volume of everything else here because we've got a like very sinister reveal happening. And that's gonna go until the end. Sinister music. Okay, what do we got? We've got a whole bunch of Starwhal music. Let's see, unsorted, probably. Gosh. It's not sinister enough. Abysmal. This one's got a very, like, sinister feel to it. I do like this one. How much time are we working with here? Music. That was awkward. 3 minutes. Is it a 3-minute sinister event? Maybe. What do we got in here? So Bryant Lowry power up? No. Okay, this is the Goosebumps. Breakthrough. It's Cody Martin. It's gonna be very epic. Tesseract. This one's like different. This is like Stranger Things almost coded. That is definitely not it. I'm just looking at stuff that's like right around truth. Falls truth. That is not the vibe we're looking for. That's not going to be it either. Neon Beach. 334 is what we're looking at. Rarefaction. I think this one's a little... Yeah. Computer Kid. I'm curious if there's like a slightly shorter one that we can make sinister by stretching it out, right? Stroke of Midnight? No. It's the Space Mafia. I don't think we need Space Mafia music here. That's 100% not the vibe we're going for. I almost think Abysmal's the way to go on this one, and maybe even stretch it out. Do I have Abysmal as... I do have the stubs. Interesting. I wonder if I can play around with that at all. What do we have for stubs in here? The bass kind of comes through. Interesting. Okay, so we've got drums, percussion. Interesting. And then synths is going to be like the main. It's kind of disturbing in and of itself, right? When you get into the stubs, it gets really interesting, that's for sure. I'm curious. I think I will probably keep it simple for this one. We'll pull in the full track here. And I want to stretch it out until the end here. And then we're going to add a little bit of a Verispeed on that.
It's sinister and confusing. And middle management catches you looking and looks back at you and smiles broadly in an almost dangerous, manic way and goes, "Good job. Just wait." And now for the presentation of, what is it?
Patron's choice.
Patron's Choice with special presenter, the mayor of Las Sobras, Morgan Razmagaz. And we see the mayor of Las Sobras come out to thunderous cheers and applauses. He is a devil looking, he's definitely on cloven hooves. He's got like the
Dainty cloven hooves.
painted cloven hooves. He's in an immaculate suit that's like corseted, so he's got like a corset type.
God, I love it. Yes.
Like it's like a corset tux thing going on.
Can I imagine that middle management is very excited or maybe fixated on this, what's happening right now?
Yes. You sit there and realize that this is the moment that middle management has been waiting for.
Enough so that I can get out of this booth.
Oh, that he doesn't even care.
I would love,
I gotta find my friend Sack. This is fucked up.
You suddenly, Tag, you don't know what it is, but there is something deeply sinister, deeply dangerous, and deeply disturbing about this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to try to get away in this moment.
Yeah.
That's going to be a roll.
Okay, yeah, of course.
It is whatever role you can justify to me to do.
Yeah.
I would like to justify finesse, I think.
Beautiful.
That makes sense.
And damn. Okay, none of these. Oh wait, one of these work. Okay, I'm gonna parkour out of here instead of sneaking out, and I'm gonna upgrade all my finesse dice to do so.
Amazing.
Let's do it.
So upgrading my dice. If I have 2 d8s and a d6, that'll be 2 d12s and a d8. Is that right?
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, whatever sense you're getting, Tag, you're like, this place is deeply dangerous right now.
Yeah. 2 d12s, d8. Okay. Come on. 5 successes.
Oh,
wow.
You're so lucky. You're so lucky.
Oh my god, okay.
I had 4 failures.
Holy shit.
And 2 complications.
Whoa.
This is a patron. This is a...
Yeah, no, you're right.
And especially a middle manager patron, they are like watching you.
Yep.
Micromanaging.
You describe to me how you try to parkour out of this place.
I begin sneaking. That is my initial plan. I am trying to sneak out undetected.
Okay, I will counter it with the moment you begin to move, middle management's eyes turn. His head doesn't turn, just his eyes.
Whew, creepy. Okay, so Tag is in trouble. So we'll find out next time what's going on with Tag. I am going to, let's see, save. We got a 42-ish minute episode here, which is not too bad. Leaves us with next week about the same. So we split the remainder, which is fine. And then this one is going to get exported and delivered. And then we should be all set there. So this was a very quick edit, which was fine because I've got things I need to do today. So for those that were able to stop by and hang around for a little bit, super happy to have had you here. Let's see, episode 56, session 17, Patreon episode. We're going to be saving that off. I keep on getting the naming scheme different every single time I save one of these, but as we can see, it's going to take about 20 some odd minutes to actually export, maybe less, but we'll see how that all plays out. All right, pulling the social bridge back in, we are going to be kind of getting out of here, and I'm going to be going for a bike ride after some lunch with the family. So, tomorrow is Memorial Day. I probably will have a stream at night for some Crimson Desert. If I do not, you will catch me again on Wednesday for also some Crimson Desert. And then Thursday, we'll be getting back to Hightail for a bit, finishing up some more of our library basement area or so. I think I need some more library shelves, so I got to go find some in the world because I don't think you can craft them easily, if at all. So I got to find some places that have those. And then next weekend on Sunday, again, will be another work stream just like this one, where we'll be doing some Panda Talking games, it sounds like, as well as probably some more Starwhal. We'll see how that goes. I need to get continue to be caught up on Starwhal, so this is helping me do that. If you want to follow me, you can find me on Blue Sky. It's been showing up at the bottom down here. It's at LordNeptune.com. Or you can hop on my Discord, discord.lordneptune.com, and it'll take you right to the Discord invite. Would love to have you there. I don't think I have anything else, so thank you so much, everybody. Have an excellent rest of your weekend. Super happy to have had you here. Stay safe. Drink some water. Have a good, wonderful time out there in the world. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.